In this video here, we're going to take a look at linear systems that involve mixture problems. So these often have percentages involved with them so that we are mixing things at certain percentages or proportions. It doesn't have to necessarily be explicitly a percentage. Could be a fraction, could be just a decimal portion. In any case, what we're doing is breaking something up over those different values. So in this case here, we have financial investment. Sarah's investing $10,000 in two different accounts for 1 year. A GIC that earns 5% interest a year and a bond that earns 7% interest a year. At the end of 1 year, she's made 6.2% on her total investment. So on that $10,000, she's made the 6.2%. How much did she invest in each account? So we'll have two variables here, G for the GIC value and B for the bond value. And GICs and bonds are just a type of investment that you can use when you're trying to make money. They'll pay at a certain percentage rate. If we take a look now at combining these, the total value of the GIC and bond that she invested in is $10,000. So the total value of the G plus the B is $10,000. Now we get to the percentage portions. She earned 5% on her GIC. So 5% of the GIC value plus 7% of the bond value will be the 6.2% of the 10,000. So she's got 6.2% of the total, which was made up of the 5% GIC and 7% bond. So each of those values gets their percentages connected to them. Now we can expand this out and even figure out, I'm going to use elimination, so I'm going to get rid of one of these variables here. I'm going to pick B. So if I multiply, to get rid of B, they both have to have a 0.07 beside them or be the same. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of the B. So I'm going to multiply this by 0.07. Since I'm multiplying this by 0.07, I have to multiply each value by 0.07. I'm multiplying everything by 0.07. So G times 0.07 plus the B times 0.07, and then the 10,000 times 0.07, or 7% of 10,000, which is 700. So again, I have to multiply each of the values by the 0.7 because I selected the B to eliminate. And that was our value that we wanted to get it to. The next one, the values are fine. So I don't need to do any multiplication there. Just leave them as they are. The only thing I will do though is I'll multiply this out because this is 0.062 times 10,000, and rather than leave it like that, let's actually just get a value there. We can multiply that out to get 620. Now that I got my values, I need to look at this. I'm getting rid of the B. I need to subtract these values to get rid of them, so I'm going to do a subtraction of everything here. 0.07 minus 0.05 is going to give me 0.02G. These will minus out to 0, and then I have 700 minus 620, which is 80. So now I'll just divide both sides by 0.02 to finish this off and get my GIC value of 4,000. So she's invested $4,000 into the GIC. And then going back to our initial equation here, if we were to number them 1 and 2 to reference them, equation 1, I'm going to sub that in and solve for the B value. So sub G equals 4,000 into 1, I get 4,000 plus B equals 10,000. And now I just need to move that over and subtract. So 10,000 minus 4,000 and B equals 6,000. So she's invested 4,000 into a GIC, 6,000 into a bond. And that's it for solving these types of questions. Again, you're getting the total amount of each individual piece, and then the percentage of each piece, attaching the proper percentages to each one, and then you can select elimination or substitution. Again, I used elimination here, but substitution works just as well.